Billy got it bumping. Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Put a dude in this place, he out cold with a tombstone, grapple the waist, get laid flat. Can't escape, nowhere to go, the cage match. It's on now, when I spot him, it's no problem. Everybody stone cold till they hit with the rock bottom. Sharpshooter, I won't miss him like Bret Hart. Like Al Snow, they gon' need him a head start. I just might catch a better body than Mickey James. Get acquainted with the name, we bringin' the pain. Like Kane in the ring, all I see is red. Paul era, Undertaker, I can see the dead. John Cena putting hands in your face. 10 DBS, keep a milli on the waist. B2TF, better stay in your place or get smacked down, play it safe. What you talking about?
Welcome to the latest episode of Boot to the Face here on YouTube. Okay, I didn't realize that was in there, but welcome to Boot to the Face, YouTube, and all your favorite podcast players. I'm Chris Rucker along with EJ Reed, and we are here to talk about the world of professional wrestling as we do each and every week. EJ, how you doing?
Man, I'm just trying to stay warm. How about yourself?
Shit, you ain't said nothing. It is 13 degrees outside right now.
Man,
It's getting snow out here. Well, no snow at my house, but everywhere south of Atlanta, including Florida, of all places, is getting a lot of snow. And we're under a winter storm watch here in the south. So it's been a lot of cold fucking days here.
man, I think that might be nationwide. It's a little bit colder here, but it's been like in the negatives, and it finally got to the single digits. But that's why I stay my black ass inside, so don't feel too much of the effects of it.
Yeah. Yesterday was MLK Day, so no work. So my week's kind of thrown off. Like I keep thinking today's Monday, and almost overslept for the podcast, thinking that it was Monday and I was gonna watch Monday Night Raw, even though I'd watched it when I got home from work today. But I was like, yeah, today's Monday. I can take a nap. I can chill. My girlfriend's like, don't you got to record Boot to the Face tonight? I'm like, fuck, what time is it? And then the winter depression, seasonal depression, or whatever the fuck it's called, sitting in, like, that doesn't help either. Just like these fucking constant gray skies with no sunlight. Like, goddamn, man. Like, can we get one day with sunlight?
Yeah, it is hard to fight off the winter blues, but that's life.
But we got Saturday night's main event coming up. We got the Royal Rumble coming up. I myself have Monday Night Raw, NXT next week, and then WWE, AEW Dynamite will be here in Atlanta, which I have tickets for the following Wednesday. So going to be a lot of live pro wrestling for your boy. And then after that, we head off to Las Vegas for WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah, single day tickets finally went on sale. I remember you posted it on the plethora of social media that we are interacting with, but I know you were excited about that.
Yeah, they go on sale, pre-sale tomorrow, and then for everybody else on Friday. I'm hoping they're decent price. Like if I get a couple $100, I just want to be in the building. I don't have to be in the front row. I haven't been to a WrestleMania since they were in Dallas, but like we've talked about it before. I'm not paying $500 sitting next to Sting. Like that's my guy and all, but like I saw a brunch with Mickey James and was it Mick Foley? It was some older like superstar. That was Rikishi. Mickey James and Rikishi. A brunch at a bar in Las Vegas Saturday morning. All you can eat and drink. Superstar is going to be there. Guess how much they want for this?
How much?
Just, you give me a number, and let's see if you're right.
Probably
Brunch.
couple bills, probably.
$500 for brunch. That's a whole fucking ticket.
Who's gonna be there?
Mickey James, Rikishi, and other superstars later to be announced. And you get all you can eat. You get a collectible saying you were there, Now, I love Mickey James. There's no slight against her, but $500 for brunch and
That
tickets are $500. Come on, man.
does
Like,
that include?
ti-
Does that 500 include sexy time with Mickey James afterwards, or like
oh
what?
my,
What's
that's a married woman, EJ.
I'm just saying.
Well, I know you can get sexy time with Rikishi.
You just
He'll do the
turn
stink next to you.
just put a terrible image in my head.
Yeah, he's gonna put a terrible taste in your mouth too when you fucking land your head on the bottom turnbuckle.
Oh man, shit is gross.
Yeah. But yeah, 500 bucks for fucking brunch. And I'm like, I know a couple brunch spots in Vegas that you can get all you can eat and drink, and it ain't $500. So if y'all want to hang out for brunch, let me know. I'm a brunch boy. I love that
You know,
shit.
we talked about this before. Like, there's nobody really monitoring like the market out there as far as prices go. They can just throw out any prices that they want, and then some people are gonna be willing to pay for it. And people stupid enough to pay for it, they're gonna just keep doing it.
Yeah, that's the issue. I feel like within the next year, though, WWE might price their fans out of now. One thing that they are doing smart, along with the high prices, they don't come to your area as much. There's no more house shows and shit like that. So you might get WWE in your city like once, maybe twice a year. So when they come and tell you $200 to sit up top, you're like, well, fuck, they won't be here again. So if I want to take my kids to go, I better go now. They are doing it that way, but I do feel like with these prices, eventually people aren't going to be able to afford that shit. Like eggs are about to be fucking $20 a carton. Like we can't go to WWE for $200 a seat.
And I thought eggs were gonna go down. What people told me a couple months ago.
I don't even want
But
to get started on all that shit.
yeah, let's not go down that rabbit hole. But I remember you telling me that you were like on the fence for going to Raw. I guess you changed your mind because you were saying like the prices might be kind of
Well,
outrageous.
I shouldn't say I'm guaranteed to go to Raw. I've tried to use some connections through my job to get a couple tickets secured, and I've gotten the green light that more than likely it's going to happen, but I haven't gotten the tickets yet. So I shouldn't say I'm going to Raw 100%. I am going to NXT next week. I do have tickets for that, and I am going to AEW Dynamite. But Raw is kind of up in the air as of right now. But hopefully in the next day or so, I'll know.
I don't know when I'm gonna break my wrestling fast because I probably don't. I don't know if you remember, like April last year after Dynasty, I'm like, that's enough wrestling. I'm wrestling out or going to actual shows. So I'm like, at least till for the rest of 2024, I'm not going. And I guess I broke it when I went to that one show with you, but that was towards the end of the year, the TNA show.
I mean,
So I think what's that?
you didn't pay for it either.
That's true. So that didn't count. So I think I'm gonna wait till Mania because it's been a good bit of shows that came since like that April. I think Raw was in town past fall. AEW's been like 2 or 3 times since then. But and I'm thinking about TNA is coming to St. Joseph, which is a suburb of Kansas City. I may go to that. It's Impact. I've never been to Impact, like an Impact taping. I've been to that pay-per-view that you and I went to, and then I went to a house show way back in the day, like 18 years ago. So that's in March. I don't know. I'm on the fence with that, but WrestleMania for sure will be
So you
the
go
next
Tessa
time.
B if you go.
Oh, geez. I guess we'll probably get in that later. She got some chance on pay-per-view. I didn't hear him. I watched like a condensed version of the show. I didn't hear the chance.
Yeah. I heard him on social media, but I didn't hear him. I don't know. When it comes to her, it's such a waste because she is so good at wrestling. She's not good at promo. She always does this thing where like she's talking and she'll go like I don't know if anybody's ever noticed it, but she'll like take her tongue and push her bottom lip out as she's talking. Every fucking I thought she would grow out of it, and she hasn't, and it bothers me. It's like who was it that we used to talk about that sound like they were crying when they be doing a promo?
Deanna Perrazzo.
Yeah, it's like Deanna, and I love Deanna, but whenever she's talking, it sounds like she's about to cry when she's cutting the promo, and I can't get over it. And with Tessa, she would always be like, "I'm Tessa Blanchard." and I'm gonna beat you. It's like, why are you doing that?
Probably looks extra crazy with that jaw hurt, that mandible hurt. I gotta pay attention next time I see her do promo.
Punch. Anyway, but it just, it's annoying because she's so good in the ring. She could honestly be one of the biggest female stars in the history of wrestling if she wasn't such a piece of shit. But
well, she probably would have been signed to, the Fed by now if it wasn't for that.
EW, she could have took Britt Baker's place.
Man, we might get into that later. But
if you're thinking about WrestleMania, EJ, I need to know because chances are I'm going to buy tickets either tomorrow or Friday. If you want to sit with us, the cool kids, we're going to buy tickets soon. I have a limit on how much I'm willing to spend. And if they don't have tickets inside that limit, then I'm not going to worry about it. We'll just, my best friend Brent lives out there. Shout out to Brent. He's already said, if you don't go to Mania, we could just do a Mania party at my house. He lives in the suburbs of Vegas. So we could just go to his crib, get drunk there and party. He's got plenty of room and watch both nights of WrestleMania at his house. Then go back to Vegas the next day, gamble, drink, pregame, see whatever we want, and then go to his house again the second night. That's what I'm down for. But I do want to go. One, it's WrestleMania. Two, I've never been inside the Vegas stadium, and it looks like a fucking spaceship.
Yeah, I haven't been there inside either yet.
So, have you been back to Vegas since our guys trip last year?
I have not. I think you've been like 2 or 3 times since then.
Yeah, I've been twice since then. I also want to hit like a pool party.
That's April. That's like maybe like the very early like pool party season, like because I'm thinking the earliest I've been probably besides I'm not counting New Year's because that's the late year going into the next year. It gets pretty cold out there. Side note, you've been out there this time of year, but
it'll be warm enough for them girls to have them things out when we get there, and that's all we want to go for. That's what the whole point of a pool party is, EJ.
Yeah, mid-April is like probably like the earliest time with the pool party season going on. But I'm down for wherever the wind takes the crew.
Also, what a slight flex we did earlier. We were at TNA pay-per-view. We got in for free.
Slight flex. Hey, man.
That was a good pay-per-view, too. It was a good show.
Yeah.
But yeah, so WrestleMania single-day tickets go on sale this Wednesday, probably after you listen to this because this won't be posted until Thursday. And then that's the pre-sale, and then Friday is tickets for everybody. So hopefully we see you there at WrestleMania. If not, we'll try to post as much as we can, hit as many indie shows and parties as we can. I kind of want to go to Wale Mania. That's always been a big thing I want to do. I know you've been to one, right?
Yeah, WrestleMania 40 last year. It was lit.
Yeah,
Hurt Syndicate was out there.
And see about
celebration of Black excellence. What's that?
Yeah, didn't they do like a Shelton Benjamin appreciation there last year?
Yeah, that was dope.
Sucks I missed that.
Yeah,
but yeah, as far as news and announcements, that's really all we got for that. So let's jump right into some wrestling, EJ. We had TNA pay-per-view this past weekend. A big announcement from WWE and TNA, WWE NXT and TNA, and match announcements. Like they're announcing things 2 and 3 weeks ahead of time. Like Ricochet versus Swerve got announced for here in Atlanta. Bianca and Naomi versus the Meta Girls got announced for NXT here in Atlanta, which is a week from tonight. Who else got announced? They're planning things out a lot better, and I'm digging that all across. You had Jordan Grace's final match apparently in TNA this past weekend. We can talk about the TNA pay-per-view, which I thought was okay. Seemed better. TNA.
Was fine.
Yeah, it wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the best. But let's start with that. Let's start with TNA. How'd you like the pay-per-view?
Like you said, I thought it was solid. I mean, nothing to rant and rave about. I really like the Masha Slamovich and Rosemary. The main event was what it was. We've talked about before. Hendry's not any ring mat technician, but Dolph Ziggler is really, really, really good in the ring. He can make anybody look good. So did what it needed to do. And then you had the other stuff. You had the Hardys on there with the Rascals they faced. The Rascals.
Yep.
And then what else? What else was on there?
Santana tapped out.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good, really good man. It's the I Quit match, and you talked about Jordan Grace's last match against Blanchard. Apparently, Josh Alexander quit. So I don't know if he's kind of foreshadowing popping up on NXT or if it's just a storyline thing. But yeah, it was a solid show.
I do want to point out Mike Santana has made me a fan of his, and also Masha, and I think it happened around the same time. I think they both happened when we were in Winston-Salem over Thanksgiving weekend. Watching them in person, especially Masha, because I saw her do 2 matches. She beat Jordan Grace one night, and then she fought Lindsay Snow in like a hardcore match the next night. And seeing Masha in person, see how good she really is, was like opened my eyes up a lot to her. And so did Mike Santana. Like, this guy's changed his body around. He's gone from tag team guy to being on his own now that he's not with Ortiz anymore. And for him to make Alexander quit, who was like the TNA champion for what, like 2 years or some shit like that?
Yeah, he had a long, before he got hurt, he had that belt for a long time.
Yeah. So to make Alexander quit, like, I think I'm hoping he can get over the Santana and Ortiz and just be Santana, and people will actually give him a shot, because I think he's good. Like, I think he's got a good look. I think he's good on the mic. I think he's good in the ring. Can he be world champion? That's to be determined, but I do really like Mike Santana.
I mean, he's kind of surprised me because I thought he was going to be in that position where like nobody really would care. He's coming over from AEW. I thought he would be in that like Macklin position, like just there.
Yep.
Because Macklin can't get over for shit. But fans, he's over in TNA. The fans have slowly but surely taken a liking to him. You know, I guess his attitude, go out there and fight anybody, and he's been getting, some good reactions. So yeah, it's a pleasant surprise. His ceiling, I guess it depends how this year goes. See if he could rise up to that level of TNA champion. But yeah, I don't know if it translated if he would go back up to AEW or WWE. So I think this is a nice place for him if he wants to go the highest he can as far as being a singles guy. So, I'm excited to see where it goes. And with Slamovich, I've always known she, had it. The first couple years she was in it, they had it where she wasn't talking at all. She's playing up to the Russian accent. But now that they let her talk some, she's getting to show her personality. So I dig it.
She's fucking ripped too. I know it's hard to tell when she's standing next to Jordan Grace, but she's in really good fucking shape. Like, we saw her in person in Winston-Salem, and I was like, she got some fucking guns on her.
Yeah.
But she can go too, and like you said, her on the mic now is just really good. And I hope they don't let Tessa be the one to take the fucking belt off of her, because she's had a really good title run. She's waited for it, because she was one of the ones trying to take the title off Mickey back in the day when Mickie James did her last rodeo, and didn't get it then. And I didn't know a lot about her then, and I didn't think she was ready to have the world title, but she's just fucking like basically told me to shut the fuck up now, because when I watch her now, it's a completely different person than I saw a couple years ago. And I'm enjoying her run as a champion, and I hope she doesn't give the belt up anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, slowly but surely you look around and the cupboard's kind of empty as far as like the TNA women's roster. Like a couple years ago, we were talking about how deep they were. You had Trinity, they had Chelsea in there, they had the beautiful people. She's in AEW now.
Madison Rayne.
Madison Rayne went over. Deanna. They lost Tenille Dashwood, Mickey. Yep. So like slowly but surely, like I said, the cover's kind of rare, so they might transition right over to Tessa, and I'm not a fan of that. So I don't know.
Kelly
I don't
showed
know.
back after giving birth a couple months ago. Saw her on Instagram posing her six pack. I wouldn't say, yeah, let's just say abs. So she should be
Man,
on her way back soon.
Myron ain't take no time shooting her club up. Like he said, "F it."
Oh my!
I could I could have swore like
He
sometime
just said
early
out of the driveway.
yeah.
So
I
he
remember
wasn't
like
that Jenga.
yeah,
He can't pull out worth that.
yeah. Because I remember like they went public like sometime early 2024 or so, and then by the time you know it's pregnant. But I'm just joking. But yeah, that'd be definitely a good addition.
I know this
What's
ain't
that?
wrestling topic, but that's a funny thing too when people are together for like, because I want to think she was married. I could be
Yeah,
that up,
she
but I know
was.
she was with somebody for a long time, and then as soon as they got untogether and she got with Myron, next thing you know they're having. Well, that happens in life. Like I know a guy that was married to his wife for like 7, 8 years, and they got divorced, and as soon as she got with the next guy, like within the year, we're pregnant. And it's
Happens
like,
a
damn,
lot.
yeah, that's one of those
Yeah.
relationship things where like you're with somebody for the longest, right? And and then y'all split up and they get with somebody else and all their friends start commenting on her posts. You look so happy now. Was the bitch not happy when we were together? Like, what the fuck are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Man,
But
our generation sucks, but I don't want to get into that. Yeah, like we were talking about, we kind of got off track, but Killer Kelly would be a good addition to have her back. And what happened to Taylor Wilde? Like she was a good helping hand in the division.
yeah, Taylor was, she's been around for like 15, 20 years though.
Yeah. This was her second stint. 'Cause I know she think she had a kid and she was gone for a while. I didn't really watch her in her first TNA stint.
I
But
loved her first stint, but she was doing like a podcast. Like I think she was kind of part time, just bring her in and have name recognition as far as the TNA brand goes. But I mean, they do still have. It's maybe not as deep, but it is. It's just they need to build their brand up a little bit more. Like Ash by Elegance needs to do a little bit more. Tasha Steeles needs to do a little bit more. Um, like you said, Killer Kelly's coming back. You got the
what's
racist now.
yeah, what's
And
Rick forgive me for forgetting her name. Rich Swan's wife.
I didn't know Rich Swann was married.
Man, after me. But yeah, you were talking about Killer Kelly and a few other. I'm surprised you didn't know Rich Swann was married.
No,
She's
honestly,
Asian.
thinking about it, not Rich Swann, Killer Kelly coming back while Masha's the champion. That's a fucking storyline ready to write itself because they were MK Ultra back in the day.
Oh yeah. Um, Sue Young. That's what Rich Swann's wife.
Rich Swann's married to Sue Young.
Yeah, like they've been married for a while now, man. It's not like they just got married. They've
For
been married
him,
since 2017.
good for you, Rich Swann.
She was out because she was pregnant, I want to say, but I'm surprised. Maybe she just want to just focus on
Got
raising
my
kids.
Lee coming back. She's in Japan right
Oh
now.
yeah,
Too.
that's
She signed a full-time deal with TNA. I don't know. I think their women's division's all right. They're just doing a little bit of a reset right now with everybody leaving. And by everybody, I mean Jordan Grace, who lost to Tessa Blanchard this past week and basically had her swan song. So you can definitely count on her being in the Royal Rumble this week. But
where did she go? Back to NXT. Or you think she hits the main roster?
she's going straight to the main roster.
You don't think she plays a lot? I mean, they have Julia and Stephanie Burker, so they really don't need her necessarily. So she could boost that mid card scene up a little bit.
Fuck it,
Even
just
though it
have
doesn't.
a Rumble and fight Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania.
I don't think they would do that.
Who else would you do?
Not if
But
Charlotte has anything to say about it.
Charlotte can fight my girl Tiffany.
Yeah, she can win the chamber, I guess. But I don't know. I think even though they got this partnership, I think in a sense they still want to kind of little bro TNA. I don't think they would have her come in right away and win the Royal Rumble.
Any chance Tessa Blanchard enters the Royal Rumble?
No, in Triple K maybe.
Yeah, I mean they're fucking rolling Hogan out there every other week.
Guess we'll talk about that when we talk about Saturday night's main event. But yeah, I'm hoping there are some surprises in the Royal Rumble. You know, it seems like they've announced everybody that's going to enter. Like, that's the charm about the Royal Rumble, having those surprise moments. So hopefully they'll save some surprise.
I know they've announced a lot of men, but I haven't heard a lot of women that are in the Royal Rumble.
So yeah, maybe they're saving the surprises for the women. I watched the whole SmackDown, all 3 hours, but apparently they ran a Charlotte promo. Maybe I was playing on my phone and thought it was Tiffany and wasn't really paying attention. I got to go back and watch it because I didn't even know they did that.
I ain't gonna lie to you, I kind of liked it.
Yeah, okay. She's finally winning Rucker over.
I mean, she hadn't came back. This was just a vignette. This was a vignette. Don't say she's winning me over. But the promo was kind of dope. She came off like a star. It's the first time I was like, Charlotte is a fucking star. Like, she should be arrogant like she is. Like, I don't know. Maybe she is growing on me. I don't fucking know. But I liked it for some reason. It pisses me off that I liked it.
Well, I'll go back and watch it. Maybe she'll win me over too, which I highly doubt. But no, when she comes back, don't even play with the shades of gray and we'll let the fans pick who to cheer for. Just make her a dastardly heel. She's just a natural. And we've talked about this before many times. She's just a natural heel. I hate when they try to make her a baby face.
I feel like they should have Charlotte come out. And years ago, Sting was supposed to come back he's supposed to come to WWE and fight The Undertaker. And they had like a countdown. It was the WrestleMania for Atlanta. And they had like a date to when this was going to debut. And Undertaker comes out. And then the clock hits 0. And it's like, oh shit, it's going to be Sting. And it was Triple H. Because Sting didn't get signed.
I thought it was that time where you said they did that, and then I think The Rock came out. And he was asking like he's going to be the host or something.
No. Rock came out to host it, but Undertaker came out, and before he put the mic up to start talking, and as soon as he got ready to talk, Triple H came out. He never gave him a chance to talk and challenge him. I think Charlotte should come out, and before she gets her first fucking woo, Becky Lynch's music should hit, and they should just fight each other at WrestleMania. That takes both
hilarious
out of the title picture. It gives them a big women's match to put on the card, and then you can have Tiffany fight somebody new, and you can have Rhea fight somebody new. Because we don't want to see Rhea versus Becky again. We don't want to see Charlotte versus Rhea again. We don't want to see Charlotte in a title match. We've already seen Tiffany and Becky, and though it was dope, give her somebody new to fight.
I don't know if it's enough real estate to have Charlotte and Becky in a title match, just a non-title match 1-on-1.
You telling me you can't get 3 women's matches in WrestleMania? That's 2 nights.
They probably want to put tag team belts on there, and if you do 1-on-1, if you have a 1-on-1 match, no title, I would rather see Jade and Bianca than Charlotte and. Well, if they don't come back, then I think they probably put some type of tag team title on there.
Also,
get more women on there.
Can I say this?
What's that?
I don't give a fuck about the tag team titles that the women have. I'd rather see Charlotte and Becky. But to tell
they haven't done.
You can't get 4 women's matches over 2 nights of WrestleMania. That's bullshit. Like, besides Roman, Jey, Gunther, McIntyre, Rollins, Punk. Who else? Big star. Cody, obviously. All right, that's 7 guys. You throw one more guy out there. That's 4 matches. You telling me you can't get 4 women's matches and then add the rest of the shit in? We really need fucking A-Town Down Under out there? We really need LWO and Rey Mysterio and Chad Gable and his fucking crew and the Wyatt Six over a couple women's matches? No, fuck that. Give me Jade and Bianca. Give me Jay versus Bianca. Give me Becky versus Charlotte. Give me Jordan Grace versus Rhea Ripley. And give me somebody versus Tiffany Stratton. I don't know who it would be.
If the story makes sense with Charlotte and Becky, I wouldn't mind doing it, but I don't want them just throwing it just to say they did it, because I guess they haven't wrestled one-on-one at WrestleMania because it was Ronda was in there. But I wouldn't mind seeing Tiffany versus Nia at WrestleMania.
There you go. Those 4 women's matches, and then you have the Meta Girls win the tag belts and have them fight like 2 or 3 tag teams. So you got 5 women's matches over 2 nights. We ain't got enough room for that?
I don't know. I don't know how all the other stories are going to shake out.
Well, then make room.
Hey, I don't have the pencil.
Make a storyline. Like we're just putting these dudes on here that nobody gives a fuck about. Like, and then don't have fucking Jelly Roll come out and perform for 30 minutes again. And we got plenty of time for the women to be. I like women's wrestling better than men's wrestling. I'm sorry. I like the women better than the majority of the men. So to only have a couple matches over 2 nights of WrestleMania, I think is bullshit.
Hey, guess we have to see how it plays out.
Have The Rock versus Ava.
That'd be wild.
You left to get the bread, never came back match.
Hey, allegedly. Oh, yeah, man. I mean, I feel like it's a super deep talent pool this WrestleMania season. They're going to have to juggle and see what makes sense, because it looks like we may be going towards another Sammy KO one-on-one match at Mania.
We can Sammy KO. We can't do Becky versus Charlotte. It's the same fucking thing.
I wouldn't be mad at Sammy KO if they hadn't already done it before. If it had a title on the line this time, I wouldn't be mad at it. But if they're just fighting against the fight, man, with no higher stakes. Yeah, it was the one before he fought Stone Cold. It was the Tampa one. He fought at WrestleMania.
Okay.
So
we got way off track. Jordan Grace versus Tessa Blanchard.
mm-hmm.
How'd you like the match? How'd you like Tessa being the winner? And how'd you feel about all the videos and stuff posted about Jordan Grace leaving?
I didn't see any of the videos posted about her leaving. I did see one where she was like crying and she like walked right past Tessa. I saw that one. That was the only one I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, the match was good. I mean, if she's on her way out, the traditional thing is to do the job on the way out, and she did what she had to do and was professional about it, even though the reports are she didn't even feel like working with Tessa. And I don't know, man. Tessa must be really close with somebody in the back. We know, what's our guy? Team Canada. He's not there anymore. He was the booker. So I don't know who's back there booking. I know Dreamer's, I think he's got a pretty prominent role. Maybe he's
he loved Tessa when she was there the first time.
Man, these people, it's crazy, man. Like, they don't read the room sometimes, and
it's like they're too far into the forest to see the trees.
Yeah, I mean, and I think they do it just to go against the grain too. Well, yeah, all these people, we're gonna do it anyway because I've been in the business and I know what I'm talking about.
You guys don't know.
Yeah.
Never wrestled before.
And I bet you they didn't like that chant that they heard during that match. And they, well, what's that for? You know exactly what that's for. But I don't know. How'd you feel about the actual match?
Same shit that needs to be chanted to Hogan when he comes out.
every time.
Match was good, man. Like I was saying earlier, it sucks that she's a piece of shit because she's really good. Like, if you turn everything off and just watch her wrestle, like, the woman can wrestle, but she's a piece of shit, and you can't just like. At least I can. I don't know how many. Obviously, there's people out there that can. That's why they still cheer for Hogan. They can just ignore all that. That's the man, and I'm cheering for the character. So that's the woman, and I'm cheering for the character, Tessa Blanchard. Like, the wrestler doesn't feel the way that the woman feels, and blah blah blah. But it's just hard to, as a black person, it's hard to turn that shit off when somebody does and says what she's accused of doing and saying.
Well, 99 people who like try to separate the character from the person are people that aren't of color and they haven't experienced that. Of course, if you haven't experienced it, you don't know. It's like blind ignorance, which is it's not right.
Right.
They don't know how it is to be in the other person's shoes. And like, if you are experienced pieces of shit, being pieces of shit and discriminate you like your whole life, then you would know why we feel the way we do. But a lot of people can't empathize for some reason, which is shitty.
Yeah. Other big things that took place at TNA's pay-per-view this week. Joe Hendry, do you believe, finally becomes TNA World Heavyweight Champion. And I don't know if I just haven't been paying attention. I know TNA got new titles, but their world title looks dope.
It was the beginning of last year when they first switched back over. They introduced all those new titles. Oh yeah, all of them are dope.
Yeah, all their belts look good. You're right, but the world title, this is the first time I actually looked at it. Hendry won. That's a good looking fucking belt.
Including the one that PCO destroyed at GCW.
This fucking guy. I don't get the PCO. Anyway, we're getting way off topic. Joe Hendry, new World Heavyweight Champion. Too little, too late, right on time? What do you think?
Too little, too late, but he's still pretty over. So I think he's still they got this partnership, he's still gonna pop up at the Rumble. I wouldn't say too little, too late, but they did it late. Like, he simmered down a little bit. I mean, it's nothing to heat somebody back up, but why do it at this random Genesis pay-per-view when you could have did it at your WrestleMania, which was Bound for Glory, a third of the year prior, a quarter year, whenever October was, a quarter year ago, October, 3 months ago. So yeah. So I mean, fans still like him, but I feel like he had more eyes on him coming off those NXT appearances. He's still hot. And then, what did it accomplish? You keeping the belt on Nick Namath a few more months. What did he do in those 3 months that he had the belt at? Was that you had to have that belt on him. It was so important that you had to have that belt on him for those extra couple months. Like, who younger than us listens to radio?
They say they're the most listened to sports show on Sirius XM.
I ain't getting into that. Sirius XM's been losing customers by the minute, so I don't know how much you can take that with a grain of salt, that statistic. But I know you're being sarcastic, but I don't understand. Like,
sarcastic?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why. What having the belt on Nick Namath, that would have been a perfect run for him. He got the belt at Slammiversary, lose it at Bound for Glory when people cared about Joe Hendry, because I feel like he's kind of, as far as mainstream, you saw those signs in the rock crowds back this past summer and fall, and died down after Bound for Glory. You didn't hear a lot about Joe Hendry as far on a more mainstream wrestling level. So, but like I said, maybe once he pops up if he pops up at the Rumble, maybe he'll get his buzz again.
I mean, we were walking around WrestleCade and we saw all these wrestlers with these huge lines, and we walked past Xia Li and Abaddon, and I think Cardona was over there, and we turned to our right, and who do we see? Joe Hendry. And how many people were in line to go get a Joe Hendry autograph, EJ? Do you remember?
It's You jogging my memory because I don't even remember walking by him. I didn't even realize he was there.
There was nobody in Joe Hendry's line. He was literally just sitting at his table. And me and you talked about it, and you were like, damn, I guess he's not as over as we thought he was. Because everybody now, this could be out of context, and it was what was it the second? It was the second day. Maybe everybody had got their pictures with Joe Hendry already, but everybody else still had lines at their table, and I think that was a direct result of TNA basically jobbing him out when he was as popular as he was. I think the song is catchy. I don't think he's that good on the mic. I don't think he's that good in the ring.
Yeah,
but he was over. Let's put the belt on him. Now, they may have done it too late. I think that pop could have been way bigger at Bound for Glory. It was almost like it was expected this weekend.
Yeah. So when you're expecting it, of course you're not gonna have the biggest reactions. But why not do it at your biggest show? Dolph Ziggler or Nick Nemeth, he's a veteran. Like, I don't understand why he needed to. And like, he's not a TNA guy. I know Hendry was at Ring of Honor, but like, he's basically been a TNA guy. So whoever was booking it didn't read the room. I don't know how much of Nick Nemeth plays politics behind the scenes. I don't know if that had to do with it. Like we said, I think Tommy Dreamer is one of the big guys back there. Maybe he's trying to vouch for a veteran. I don't understand their reasoning. And maybe somebody, who's been in the business and knows some of the behind the curtain stuff could explain it to me more. But as far as just being a fan on a surface level, I don't understand it.
It's like a reward.
That's
and we got the sound effects. Got the sound effects.
Speaking of TNA and WWE announced that they have a deal, multi-year deal partnership, and already you had Masha Slamovich defeat Rosemary, and Cora Jade comes out and confronts her. So already on TNA's first pay-per-view, since the partnership got announced, and then you had Masha Slamovich sitting in the crowd at NXT last week. As much as I like this and as much as I enjoy the crossover, does it make TNA feel a little minor leagues, the fact that this is involving NXT and not the main roster?
You took the words right out of my mouth. Because, like, it's good, like, for the sense, because TNA, they're not like they were when they were on Spike and going head to head with WWE. They're kind of building themselves up from where they were, like the Phoenix rising from the ashes. But like you said, it's not like they're doing it with WWE. It's like they're doing it with the developmental, the NXT. So it's kind of like WWE is like kind of little brother, and then like, yeah, we're having this deal, but y'all doing it with, the third show. So like, it's like I said, it's like it's good and it's bad. It's like a bittersweet, so to say, this deal. And they didn't give specifics of the amount of years. They just said multi-year. So who knows, how long this is going to go. But what were some of your other thoughts on it? Because I got a few more thoughts.
Even on top of that, as good as NXT is, it's not even like NXT Black and Gold. It's NXT 2.0. Like, it's not even the highest version of NXT. Now, NXT's been pretty dope. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know. I just feel like you said, they're kind of little brother. And I'm like, yeah, you're world champion versus our NXT champion. Because Joe Hendry don't belong in the ring with Cody and Gunther. Like, he could be in the ring with Oba, but he don't belong with Cody and Gunther. Like, this ain't even the same fucking sport, let alone the same league. And as much as I like it, it just does. It feels like it feels like TNA is just happy we're partnered with WWE. Look at us. You were doing fine without. Now, I do like the crossovers, and I do like TNA people showing up at NXT or in the Royal Rumble and stuff like that. But it just, I don't know. It's just something just feels dirty about it.
Yeah, it feels a little weird. And what else I didn't like is, I don't know, I had extra time. Sometimes I get to listen to, well, I always usually listen to like the weekend version. I don't really like the weekday version of Busted Open, but it was the weekend version. The Rascals came on, and like it's funny how people have revisionist history. They were talking about the partnership, and they basically because you got Justin LeBar, he's a WWE mark. He like shits over everything AEW does, and what's our guy's name? His other host, he's from Chicago. He kind of balances it out when Justin LeBar goes on the other side. But Jay Hood, Justin Hood,
Yeah,
he balances it.
Hood.
Jonathan Hood, I said Justin Hood. Jonathan Hood, he balances it out. But yeah, the Rascals came on and like Justin LeBar's kind of egging it on. He was like, "Do you feel like this partnership is better than the AEW TNA partnership?" And the Rascals were like, 100%. This is far better than the AEW partnership because AEW partnership was one-sided. All the AEW guys won. I'm like, yeah, kind of, but they were actually sending over like top guys over there to TNA. You had Omega there. You had Christian
Omega
Cage.
TNA title.
You had Omega over in TNA. You had Christian Cage over TNA, who put Josh Alexander on the way out. And then I can't remember who went from TNA and showed up on AEW. I know the Good Brothers did. But if you're looking at so far what they did last year, I feel like it's a little bit one-sided as far as who TNA sending. It sounded like Brentley Reese and Steven Regal's kid over there. They haven't sent like Trick or Obafemi or anybody over there. Y'all are sending them good. Y'all are good people. Y'all sent Jordan Grace and the Rascals over there, but they're not really sending anybody. They're top dogs over there. So that's how I say like they had revisionist history on the AEW TNA relationship.
Well, I feel like as far as the Rascals go, they're saying that because they got to go to TNA and they got to win. And they had a whole storyline over there. So to them, yeah, it's better. But I do think now that a partnership has been officially contracted, I think you will see people like Trick and Roxy, and maybe not Roxy, she's going to the main roster, but like Julia and Stephanie Vakir and Oba and Ethan Page and people like that. I think you'll start seeing them on TNA programming a little bit more now.
Yeah, so that's why I hold out a little bit before I completely, have an opinion on it, because like this new deal, so to speak, they re-upped, I guess. So we let's better start seeing some of the NXT's biggest stars over there now. They had this partnership. So like you said, they got Corey Jade over there on TNA. She's not, she's, I don't know what to consider her. She's went for the NXT Women's Championship, has she? But I feel like she's not on like Stephanie Bakir's level or Julia. And she's had those injuries.
Yeah, I don't get Cora Jade. Like, she got a reaction like she was a big star though when her music hit.
I think people are just excited to see somebody from NXT, because Axiom, they got a big reaction, and they've don't get me wrong, they've been putting on really good matches last year, but I don't know. I hate when they like make up fake tag team names, just combine their names. They feel like they never really felt like a tag team, because I've seen them do some of that single stuff beforehand. But yeah, they showed up too.
Another WWE announced, boy, it's not official, but rumor has it next year WWE WrestleMania will be in the city of New Orleans.
How I feel if that's like gonna be set in stone soon. I feel like they keep like just rotating around cities, but by the time you know it, be like, damn, are they just in New Orleans? But it's like it'll be 9 years since they've been that. But I feel like they still rotate them around. Like, all right, we'll spread it out there. We just go to the same cities and we'll just kind of spread it out and rotate them. New Orleans was 2018, wasn't it? When Bryan Danielson came back, or Daniel Bryan. And they went there in 2014, so that was real close when before they went.
WrestleMania 30 was,
and then they went 34.
Yeah, and then COVID kind of fucked some shit up too. But I think last year in Philadelphia when they decided we're not doing outdoor stadiums anymore. So now, if you don't have an enclosed stadium, they might bounce around. It might be back in Dallas. It might be hopefully it's in Atlanta soon. But New Orleans, I ain't mad at it. It cost me round trip plane ticket cost me $88 to fly to New Orleans.
Well, that's why you like it. I just like to see it spread out. Like Atlanta would have been good because it hadn't been there since 2011.
Yeah.
And then y'all are dabbling your toes in international. Why not give London one?
Nah, fuck that. Keep WrestleMania over here. You can send every other pay-per-view across the sea, but WrestleMania needs to stay in America.
Why?
Because I like going.
I mean, you don't go every year. Wouldn't hurt you for them going to like London 1 year.
Fuck that. They had All In. It's close enough.
Like spread it out. You could do Minneapolis. Like
you don't see us trying to get their big fucking soccer matches to come over here. Why they got to send WrestleMania over there?
I mean, the World Cup is coming over here. That's like the biggest soccer.
That's not a London. Bro. That's the world.
But yeah, I mean, I see like spread it out. We like you said, they got other places you could go. Minneapolis. Then they shit on them. They're supposed to get something big.
Wants to go to Minneapolis, CJ? We want to go to fun cities. Vegas, New Orleans, Atlanta, New York, Miami. Miami doesn't have a closed-in thing though, do they? But Miami's weather's great.
Yeah, I don't think
let's go to fun places.
I don't think they're gonna do anything above the Mason-Dixon that doesn't, like you said, have a dome. So I don't think they'll do New York again. And I don't blame them. That Philadelphia one was kind of brutal. I'm not gonna lie. That weather was not weathering. Pretty cold. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's just what they probably just rotate around the warmer weather cities, and unless you got a dome. So
I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't really give a fuck about the WrestleMania itself. Like, I just want to go to cool cities and party with wrestling fans. And New Orleans will be fun to do that. I've been to the Superdome. It sucks. It's overrated. That place is trash. That's a big pile of shit, the Superdome.
Mercedes, hold up, because Mercedes-Benz is newer, so of course it'd be dope. But the Superdome was worse than the Georgia Dome?
Fuck yeah. That place is awful. I went to a preseason game there for my 41st birthday. Chiefs in New Orleans. Our tickets were in like we bought them the morning of, and they were like $22 or something like that, right? Top of the dome. They could not tell us how to get to our fucking seats. You would think, oh, you just follow the signs. You follow the signs, it literally led you to a brick fucking wall. Then you had to get on the elevator and go down 2 levels, walk another like half mile, get on another elevator, go up, and then walk a half mile back. By the time we got to our seats, it was the second quarter.
That's crazy. You were was it a Cowboys game you were at, you said?
No, it was the Chiefs and the Saints preseason game.
Oh yeah, you were just there not too long ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, year before last.
Or I remember then you get like cheap tickets or free tickets.
Yeah, I got cheap. That's what I was just saying. We got them the morning of. They were like $20 each.
Yeah, that ain't bad. Was that your first time in the Superdome?
Yeah, never go again. They had good food though. They had really good food. That Cajun food was busting.
Well, if WrestleMania is there next year, you might be there.
I'm not going to fucking WrestleMania Superdome. I'll get drunk on Bourbon Street and watch that shit at the Cornet over on the corner of Bourbon Street and whatever that other street is. They got the best fucking bread pudding ever.
I hadn't had some good bread pudding in a while.
Well, if you end up in New Orleans, I know a place we can go, EJ.
Hey, count me in.
I could have been really drunk because it is at the end of Bourbon Street. So you got to make a lot of stops along the way. But yeah, New Orleans is fun. I've been there twice. It's
hurt. Okay.
It's fun if you like alcohol. If you don't drink, I don't know how much you'd enjoy New Orleans.
I'm definitely a fan of the alcohol, but I heard Bourbon Street smells like piss.
Especially in the morning time when you're walking and you're sober.
Ugh.
You just walking in there, washing the streets down. But at night, when you walk through there, there's so many people and so much going on. Like, you're not paying attention to smells and all that. You're just going in and out of bars drinking. But by the time the next morning comes around, motherfuckers are thrown up and pissed all in the streets and shit. They clean it all up though the next day. It's fine. It's sanitary. You can get off the ground. It's all good.
Huh. I'll take your word for it. But yeah, man.
Next up, we got Saturday night's main event, which will be headlined by Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. EJ, do they put the world title on Jey Uso?
You know, it'd be a Cinderella story. Perfect opportunity to have that moment. Especially Triple H could put his stamp on his new era and do it. But I don't think they do. I think you get a lot of near falls. You might even get some interference, but I don't think he pulls it off.
Interference from whom?
Some bloodline, you know,
Why?
you can't stop. Because they're assholes. I don't know.
So we talked earlier about Joe Hendry, how it's too late. How is this not the same thing? You got to strike while iron. Did you see the entrance last night?
Yeah, I saw it.
This guy's over. He's over on the mic. You know, people like to complain about his matches, but he's had really good matches with Gunther, really good matches with Braun Breaker, really good matches with Drew, with Damian Priest. He's had some bad matches, but when the rubber meets the road, like, the guy puts on good matches. I feel like people are looking to poke holes in Jey Uso's game instead of just being like, he's fucking over. Like, he got out of the tag team thing and he got over, unlike a lot of people that get out of tag team. There's only been a couple of them that have. And I feel like, yeah, we're going into WrestleMania, but Gunther's world title reign just ain't hitting like his Intercontinental title reign was.
It's not. I just think it's timing. And like you said, he's the most over, but I just think it's like you said, the WrestleMania season. I think they would do it if it was like during the summer, and you know, summer's kind of a little bit of a downtime, and you kind of playing with storylines and seeing what sticks. But I don't see them doing it right now.
That's the same
And I
thing,
like Jey,
though. Like, it's, you know, we'd like to put the title on Joe Hendry, but it is Bound for Glory season. You know, we got to keep Nick Nemeth with the title. And now look, he finally wins, and it's like, yay, good for Joe Hendry.
I don't think that's a good comparison, because I could see if it was like at WrestleMania, then you were like, all right, it's time to go. But it's just like in the middle of it, and then you might, if they were to do it, it might be like a short title reign, and I don't know. I just don't think they do it at Saturday Night Main Event. I would like to be surprised and shocked, but I don't see it happening.
I say do it at Saturday night's main event and then have them drop it back at Elimination Chamber.
Against who, though?
Whoever you want to go in WrestleMania with the belt.
I don't know.
If you want Gunther to have the belt going in against John Cena, have Gunther take it back from him. And then have whoever Jay's going to fight at WrestleMania be the reason that he loses.
You're making a good argument, but you and I both been watching wrestling a long time, and we just know how it usually goes. You know?
Yeah, but it's supposed to be a new era with Triple H in charge.
And his era actually probably has less surprises than Vince. It's good. It's like fine and dandy that, you know, he's doing all his storylines makes sense, but sometimes you could take away the unpredictability when you just, you know, kind of sticking to the course and making everything make sense. And it takes away from surprises, like seeing Jey win the belt.
If they're sticking to the normal plan, he ain't going to win because he got the upper hand on Monday Night Raw. Usually whoever wins the fight and the brawl going into the pay-per-view loses the fucking match.
And there you go. There you go. But I don't know. I don't know. Like you said, when is the time to do it? Because you got a lot of other guys that are like on that brink that kind of the underdog. Because you still got people that may want to see Sammy with the belt. CM Punk is they're lingering around, and
Ugh.
if Cena gets a one final run with a world title, that would probably be the title that he does, not Cody one. So there's a lot of players out there that have their case for winning the world title.
Ain't none of them as over as Jey Uso.
CM Punk is still pretty over.
He ain't as over as Jey.
He just doesn't have a dance to go out there and dance.
He's got to do cheap shit like, and if Hulk Hogan comes out, I'll throw his dusty ass over the top rope because nobody was cheering for what he was saying, so he had to shit on Hulk Hogan. Punk is a smart guy.
I like when he said that. Like,
exactly. He made me be like, hell yeah, wait a minute. Fuck Punk.
Hey, guys, pretty smart when he comes to choosing some words sometimes, but
right.
I don't know.
Doing?
What's that?
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting to see who gets the world title. I'm more intrigued with that kind of more than I am with Cody, because I don't think Kevin Owens is gonna win at Royal Rumble. I mean,
Dude.
Hmm?
Exactly. One world champion going into WrestleMania is Cody. He's not going to lose. Shake it up with the other world title. It's not even the big title. It's the secondary belt. Put the fucking belt on, Jay.
Cody's belt has kind of like the opposite problem. Like, they don't really have any like candidates unless you want to go back with Roman. I wouldn't be mad at that.
Yeah, they're about to be Cody Roman 3, and Cody's about to give the belt right back to Roman.
That'd be hilarious. I hope they do that actually. Cause like, who else is where they built Cody up, especially if he beats KO or when he beats KO. Like, who else are you gonna put Cody against? Maybe they pivot towards Cena, but I don't know, man.
Cody against?
Huh?
Yeah.
It
doesn't matter what your name is.
The Rock. I'd rather see if you're gonna get The Rock. I'd rather see Roman Rock at Mania. But maybe if you have him around for a little bit longer, he takes it off Cody at Backlash. I don't know. But I'm hearing whispers of John Cena and Cody. I don't know. I'm not a fan of face versus face at Mania. I know they've done it.
He can't wrestle. Like, we don't need him to wrestle John Cena and expose that he needs a really good dance partner.
Big Match John, though.
He ain't been Big Match John since 2018.
Yeah, like I said, I don't like face versus face. And I think Cena would end up cooking Cody on the mic. I don't think that's what they want. Just like he
versus CM Punk again. I don't want either one of them for the world title, so just have them fight each other again.
Who versus CM Punk?
Cena.
They've never done it at Mania, I don't think. So
yeah, let them fucking throw heat at each other on the mic and get in there and do what they do in the ring at WrestleMania.
That'd be fine and dandy, but I got a feeling Punk is gonna win the Royal Rumble. We haven't made our official picks yet, but he's in my top 3 of who could win it. So
Punk ain't Royal Rumble.
I'm curious to hear your pick, but I want to save that for when we do it in 2 weeks. I guess that's when we do our Royal Rumble prediction.
It's literally.
I thought it was the first week in February. Yeah, I guess it isn't the first week of February, isn't it? Wow, man, this month is going by fast.
Yeah, next week we'll record on Wednesday because I'll be at NXT, and we'll be picking Royal Rumble winners. We're in WrestleMania season, EJ.
Where the hell did January go, man?
What the hell?
Yeah, but yeah, it's definitely some moving pieces as far as who's going to be wearing WrestleMania season. So the Royal Rumble will be a big indication on where they go with everything.
Let's get to our power rankings for the week.
I can't. I always forget. I'm gonna start writing down who went each week because I always forget.
Well, my number 5 defeated Drew McIntyre last night on Monday Night Raw. Seth freaking Rollins. I don't think I've ever had Seth in my top 5.
Yes, yeah.
I don't think so.
Back when he was on his world title reign.
When would I have had Seth?
When he was on his world title reign.
Who is Seth beat?
A lot of people.
Seth ain't never been in my damn top 5.
Well, you got me because I'm definitely not going back just to try to find how many shows we've done. So just go off on it. You hadn't had him. My number 5 is Hangman Adam Page. I didn't think I would care about him and Christopher Daniels having a match, but they had a damn good bloody brawl on Collision in that Texas death match. Apparently, it's gonna be the Fallen Angels' last match, according to him. So
Damn near died. So yeah, I would think so.
my number 5 is Hangman Page. My number 4, trio. I don't know. Looks like they're going to get the tag team belts, but you can give them the trio belts as well. The Hurt Syndicate MVP making his return to the ring, I think, like in 2 or 3 years, which is crazy because I feel like he wrestled a lot, not a whole lot, but a good bit during the pandemic when they had no crowd. Went over Private Party and Mark Briscoe. A lot of people feel like Private Party getting buried. I don't know how you feel about that.
They gonna get buried this Wednesday.
Damn.
Shelton and Lashley about to beat the dog shit out of these boys. It ain't gonna be close. They might not even get any offense in.
That's unfortunate because I feel like they haven't had the belts that long, man. They a young talent and tag team divisions across all companies are kind of like building themselves back up. Yeah, it's gonna be unfortunate, but yeah, I see them winning the belts as well.
My number 4 and my number 3 are your number 5 and number 4. Hangman and the Hurt Syndicate. Not much more needs to be said.
That's your number 4 and 3?
Yep.
My number 3 is still the TNA Women's Champion, Marsha Slamovich. Got a win over Rosemary in the Orange Clock House. That's the name of the match? Ravens match, Orange Clock House?
Yeah, it was a long name.
And yeah, she's the face of the division. She popped up at NXT last week, so I guess it's time to go. And like we mentioned earlier, Cora showed up at TNA, so we'll see what happens with that. Maybe that's her. I mean, we were asking like, what's her next opponent? It's Tessa, but I guess clearly they're gonna go with Cora, which is a good thing. They can hold off on the Tessa nonsense. My number 2 was your number 5. I have Seth freaking Rollins closing out Raw, getting a win over Drew McIntyre. I guess they're 1-1 now from the matches that I can remember them having because McIntyre beat him at Wrestlemania last year. So Seth got it back. So maybe they'll go for a third one. Maybe they face each other at WrestleMania.
Drew McIntyre gets rolled up more than a fruit since Raw came to fucking Netflix. Good Lord. He lost to Jey with a roll up. Now he loses to Rollins with a roll up. This dude came by and win. My number 2.
Gotta keep him strong. Gotta keep McIntyre strong.
Still your women's knockout world champion, Marsha Slamovich.
Man, can't go wrong with that.
I'd imagine would be your number 1 too, EJ. Your hands from side to side. I believe in. I remember seeing him for the first time when I was in Vegas. I had no idea who he was. And by the time he got to the ring, I was singing along that stupid fucking song. I was drunk. But I mean, my girlfriend was like, who the fuck is this? I was like, I don't know. But wave your hands. You see everybody doing this shit? Do it. And he started clapping and did a little stupid fucking. Joe Hendry, your new TNA World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah. About time. Yeah, that's my number 1 too. I remember when he first popped in with those vignettes. I think that was right before I started coming on boot to the face permanently. Yeah. He's come a long way from those vignettes. I'm like, what are these goofy vignettes they're doing? He got over though. So shout out to him. Let's see what he does now that he has the ball in his court, so to speak.
Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week, and then we'll make our NFL picks to get the hell up out of here.
Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week. This is a repeat winner in like the past few weeks or so. I think I gave him maybe towards the end of last year. I'm gonna go with American Made again. I like how they come out with their super clean suits. Even Ivy now, she wears the suits with the guys, and they had the dark colors, the black and gray, and no ties. So I thought it was a clean look for American Made. Chad Gable has an interesting projection because I was like almost positive he would have won the Intercontinental title even before he went heel, and they like built up the sob story with him and his kids, and Gunther just beat the shit out of him, and he never got his get back. And then when he turned heel, I'm like, all right, they're gonna definitely give it to him. They still hadn't let him get around with it, so it's interesting. Maybe he's not a Triple H guy. I don't know, but
I thought you were gonna go with Chelsea Green.
I can't remember what she had on. Fridays usually so far from when we record. I never give SmackDown enough love that it probably should get.
I'm gonna go with Gunther.
He's always
Gunther's looking fly.
I mean, he had that little weird period where he was coming out in like sweats, wasn't he? When he was like kind of down on himself, but he's usually always clean with his suits.
Yep. I'm gonna go with Gunther. There's other people that were in the running for it. Chelsea Green, Roxanne. Roxanne was looking dope on Monday Night Raw and on SmackDown. She's looking good on both of them. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the ring general, who's the fashion general apparently.
Nice.
Real quick, is Naomi gonna be the one that attacked Jade? She's just looking real like heelish to me all the time. Even this past week when her and Bianca were backstage, and she was like, "Hey, wrap that fucking ponytail up. Like you hit me with that shit."
She wrapped that shit right on up.
I feel like Bianca's being way too friendly.
Yeah. It's got like I think I mentioned it before. It's probably gonna be Naomi, but I'm like, if it is her, then how do you factor in Bianca in it? Maybe Bianca, like a twist where Bianca's the one that directed it when Jade comes back, but I feel like those roles should be reversed. Like I know we haven't seen heel Bianca on the main roster, but I feel like Jade is like almost like a natural heel. Where I want to see traditional babyface heel when it comes to Jade and Bianca. But I don't know. Maybe we're both wrong. Maybe there's somebody completely off the radar.
Perhaps. But I feel like it's gonna be Naomi's gotta have a hand in it some kind of way.
Yeah, definitely.
NFL picks this weekend. You got the Eagles and Commanders, and you got the Chiefs and the Bills. Who are your Super Bowl picks, EJ?
Man, poor Mark Andrews. Like Ravens had it. They could have forced overtime, but just dropped that 2-point conversion. Even though they had like a little less than 2 minutes left if that happened, I think Allen would have drove right down the field and they would have got a field goal. But still, you'd like to see it happen, though. You know, stranger things have happened.
It was snowing. They could have fumbled. Anything could have happened.
Yeah, poor Lamar Jackson, man. He'll get over the hump, man. One of these days.
Will he?
I think he will. Man.
I feel that way about Dak. Eventually, Dak will, and people were like, "Dak's never gonna win." I'm like, well, then you got to say the same about Lamar Jackson and fucking Josh Allen. Like Josh Allen's been to the championship a couple times, but he's never actually won.
I don't know if Lamar Jackson win a Super Bowl, but I think he'll definitely win the AFC one day.
If Lamar Jackson gets to the Super Bowl, I don't think many NFC teams can beat the Ravens.
Never know. Never know.
Feel
a lot of people had Cincinnati beating the Rams, and the Rams were able to win, but who knows? That's why they say any given Sunday. My AFC is gonna be the boring pick. A lot of people have been hating on the Chiefs, but I mean, until somebody beats them, and I'm just not a fan of Josh Allen. This might be I might just be picking just because I'm a hater, and I live in Missouri, but I don't know. I know if Chiefs better be thankful that they have that in the game in Kansas City, because I think if they would have had to go to Buffalo, I'd probably be picking Buffalo. And I don't know if this is it's going to be like a close one if the Chiefs can't pull it out, because I wouldn't be surprised if Josh Allen is like one of those players, like he cut down on a lot because he used to turn the ball over a lot, especially last season, but he cut down on his turnovers, which is, kind of his big bugaboo. And he's like one of those players where he's back down third and like 17 and like, all right, it got to get these motherfuckers. And he somehow finds a way to fucking do some type of bullshit miracle toss. Like one of those players like when they backed up and you want to see them fuck up, they somehow pull it out. Then when like you're rooting for your own team, some bullshit happens when it's like 3-2. It's like our Cowboys, something bullshit happens where the ball fumbles 20 yards and we end up in a fucked up position. But me, I say that, my rambling just to say that I picked the Chiefs winning this one.
I'm going to end the show if you can hear me, because for some reason I can no longer hear you halfway through that. But I'm going to make my picks real quick, which was Kansas City and Philadelphia, although I do think Washington's getting an easy draw because Jalen Hurts is clearly fucking injured. And if it wasn't for Saquon Barkley, they would have lost. And if it wasn't for the Rams' offensive line not being able to block, because Matthew Stafford was going up and down the field on their ass. But I'm going to go with the Chiefs and the Eagles in the Super Bowl.
I got Washington as well. I got the Commanders over Philadelphia in a close one, but I wouldn't be surprised if Philadelphia won as well.
For EJ Reed, I'm Chris Rucker. This has been Boot to the Face. Till next week. Peace.
Got it bumping. Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Quick to put it